So often you hear people complain about how fleeting the gorgeous colors are at this time of year. Well, not if you enjoy Gordon Harrison's work or if you own Gordon Harrison's work. We are in one of his 2 studios and we're about to share some of his most recent series. This is former city planner turned full-time Canadian landscape artist Gordon Harrison. Nice to be in one of your 2 studios.
Well, thank you. Thank you for coming today.
We're here in New Edinburgh. Your other studio is?
My other studio is in the Laurentian Mountains at it's Lac Masson. It's on a lake called Lac des Îles.
So there will be a lot of that on canvas, I'm sure.
There will be, and there has been over the past. I've painted the Laurentians a number of times.
Well, we're going to head to your gallery, which is just opening a number of blocks away over on Sussex Drive, but not before we find out your background. And I love the contrast, Gordon, of retired city planner, urban planner, but who has always had a penchant and passion for the outdoors and, of course, landscape art.
My passion started as a young person. I was born in, although I was born in Montreal, I grew up spending a lot of time in the Laurentian Mountains. My parents have a cottage up there, and 5 generations of my family have been spending their time in the Laurentian Mountains.
And your work is just, I mean, I keep saying, oh, look at that, and then I go to the next piece. Tell me about some of the pieces that are hanging on the walls here in the studio.
Well, this is a collection of work I've put together for a show in Toronto at the Petroff Gallery. It's called the Red Fall Rising series. The ones with the red maples and the white birch, that's the Red Fall Rising. The other one is a series of work from Muskoka. You can see the sort of the pink granite of Muskoka and the reflections of the pine trees. I love painting pines.
Well, I love looking at the pines. I also love the texture. And so many people, I think, comment on the textures in the work.
Yes, texture came from, I really admire an artist by the name of Jean-René Richard, and he was a Quebec artist who painted out of the Charlevoix region of Quebec. And I really love the use of texture and his bold brushstrokes. And I've sort of tried to emulate that in my own unique style.
Well, we have to share the painting. Actually, it's a sneak preview of the painting in the next room because this is actually going to be unveiled at the gallery opening on Friday night. That
is correct. This is the painting that was commissioned by David and Julie Jacobson. He's David Jacobson is the ambassador of the United States, and she has commissioned this painting for them. Yes.
And you're having such feedback from people. We're going to head over to the Sussex Drive Gallery. But when we come back, we're going to talk more about Gordon's work, and we're going to introduce his business partner, Phil. Come on over, Phil. When we come back, we'll learn more about what you can see and feel like you're in the great outdoors without even leaving the city.
Now she's with artist Gordon Harrison. Lily.
A celebration of color. That's how so much of Gordon Harrison's work has been described. And we are in his new Edinburgh studio. We're about to head over to his brand new gallery that is officially opening this Friday night over on Sussex Drive. And opening that gallery is Phil Imant. And it's great because you spend and have spent so many of the years of your life talking about Gordon's work, and now you can be talking to a whole new audience, I guess, all the time, Phil. How do you best describe the pieces and what it is that Gordon brings to the canvas?
What we do is we bring Canada to people. We showcase the beauty of Canada and the different colors and the different seasons of Canada. And we're all about landscapes. And we're all about different destinations that Gordon has traveled to and captured on his camera or painted outdoor and brought back and put on canvas.
Now, you probably would have been with him for a lot of those travels. And is it fascinating for you to actually see how what you would have seen visually is translated, through paint onto the canvases?
Yes, and I would say at times stressful. I do remember when we took our trip out west where we creatively rented a convertible and photograph as we were driving. So Gordon, as an example, on a trip, Gordon may paint 4,000 paintings, comes to the house, develops all of them. The house gets saturated with pictures and he picks 40 that he's going to paint.
So 40 paintings from 4,000 photographs.
That's about it. Yes, I like to paint a series of work and body of work, so I go out and take a lot of photographs. I do some sketching as well, but generally speaking, I work from my photographs, or from memory too.
And we're going to be looking at so many of the images that you've painted over the years, and I know it embarrasses you, but a lot of people in the media have referred to you as the 8th member of the group of 7, and you've been called someone who celebrates color. And what do you most want people to know about what it is you do when you have brush in hand?
I want people to recognize my work and see my body of work as something that I've really accomplished over the years. Also, I want people to recognize that I love working with children, and we have created the Gordon Harrison Art Inspirational Project, and we are working with a new school this year, and I'm excited about working with children and teaching them to paint and just teaching them to express their emotions through art.
Is that how it started for you?
Oh, it started a long time ago for me. Actually, to be honest with you, I was born tongue-tied, and I used to express myself at a very young age with pencil or crayon on paper. And I think that's where it all started.
Well, we're glad you're so expressive, really glad you're so expressive. Now, the problem for me, and I don't know how it works for you, is everywhere I look, like I look at that piece and I think, oh, I think that's my favorite. And then you look somewhere else. Once you've lived with the pieces, do you find it hard to part with them ever?
In terms of the house, we have our own private collection at the house, and yes, it is very difficult because particularly because you want to keep paintings that really mean something to you. I always tell people, if you're going to buy a painting, buy something you connect with, because if you do that, you will always love your painting. So it's nice to see people coming to our gallery and just connecting with the piece. Last week, a man of 70, we had a large fall piece, sat on the bench for about 10 minutes and started crying because it brought back so many memories about beautiful fall in the Gatineau Park, and it was just beautiful to see.
Okay, that has to be a nice feeling when you can actually make people...
know, it's happened a couple of times, and it's spooky, it's almost frightening, but it brings emotions internally too, to me, to see somebody. We had a lady come to our show a couple of years ago in June. It was a garden show that we have outside, and there was a painting on the garden, on the wall here, and she started to cry immediately because it was a painting, or it was a scene, or it was the exact tree that she used to sit under with her mother. Oh. And her mother had just passed away a couple of weeks before that, so it just brought so much emotion to her because she knew the scene precisely.
Well, you're going to give everyone a chance to dry our tears, because we're going to leave here. We're going to head just a number of blocks away over to the new gallery on Sussex Drive, which is officially opening this Friday evening. Thank you, gentlemen. We'll be back. If only he'd get a little comfortable with color. Welcome to the Gordon Harrison Gallery. This is their new baby, just opening this Friday night on Sussex Drive with Gordon Harrison. We gave you a chance to change your shirt because you left studio to come to gallery.
Thank you.
And we're with Phil, and you're very excited about your big opening, aren't you?
Totally. It's a big night for us.
We think, well, Gordon, you and I think Phil has made up his new title, which is gallerist.
I am a gallerist, yes.
That's apparently a new word.
It's new for me, but I like it.
We're going to let him go with it. And now this is a chance for us to have a little bit of a look around, a sneak preview of what the gallery will hold in store for people. You know, earlier we had you explain, Gordon, that art initially as a child was a form of expression. And for those who are just joining us, explain how it did give you a voice, literally.
It did give me a voice, and since that time I've been just expressing that voice even more so, traveling across Canada and just painting what I see, painting sort of the forested areas of Canada, the sweeping valleys, and the enchanting communities. Well,
I found it really interesting when you said that you, as a child, literally were tongue-tied.
I was, yes.
And there's just full expression all the time in every way.
It comes naturally to me. I love the outdoors. I love Canada, so I love to get that expression of Canada on canvas.
And I know you're very proud, Phil, of the way Gordon is making sure that children find that passion early.
That is part of the inspiration or mandate at the gallery, is to really inspire young people to pursue and appreciate art and to give them an opportunity, because more and more the school system cut down funding for the arts, and we want to make sure, because art defines who you are, and we want to make sure we have that in place.
Well, I want you to take us on the quickest of walking tours,
Certainly.
if you would, of the gallery. The piece in behind Zane right now, tell us, where was that inspired?
This is up in the Gatineaus, on the trail in the Gatineaus. It's just a blaze of, it was on a windy day, and I think that comes across in the picture. There's a grouping of beech trees and maple trees, and they're just coming together. They're sort of clinging and capturing one another.
And all of the reds down here, the reds and the purples,
Once
just
again,
down here to the left.
That's up in the Gatineau region, walking along some of the inner trails. I just love the beech and the maples together, so it's a lovely combination of colors.
And birch, I think they were imagined to be painted, weren't they? The birch trees just up above.
I did a series this summer on the birch, so I call them my Birch Carousel series, and these are like dancing birches in a sense, and I put a collection of different colors in the background just to make the painting interesting and flourish, make the painting flourish.
I noticed the new gallery driving along Sussex Drive when I saw the birch trees in the window. Now, they could have caused an accident, they were so striking. Now, as we look, I know you wanted to highlight the fact that you're showcasing other artists' work as well.
We've expanded our mandate at the gallery. We remember what it was like, Gordon and I, to knock on doors and ask to be represented in other galleries. And we said one day we want to extend the invitations of other Canadian artists who do landscapes to exhibit in our own gallery. So we have 4 other artists that we represent at the gallery, and we're all about Canadian landscapes.
Now, I earlier mentioned that you are a retired City of Ottawa city planner.
Yes.
It's really great. I mean, many people will chuckle at the contradiction of a city planner and someone who really has people getting lost in nature all the time, and nature that they can bring into their home.
Well, as a city planner, I was painting as well, naturally, and there was a point when we had to open the gallery and I was still working for the city. So it's been a very much part of my life for a long time, art, and it will continue to hopefully flourish in my life, and I'll just continue to do what I do best, I think.
Well, we want to thank you so much for having us in, and you can come and look at the art. And of course, there's also a book that Gordon and Phil published not so long ago. Thanks, gentlemen. Good luck on Friday night.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.